Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make an Ali A statue. Oh, and by the way, just in case you have any more building related needs, feel free to not only check out the description below, in which I'll be leaving all of my tutorial playlists, but feel free to check out the card system where I'll be leaving more specific videos and playlists. I think that you guys will really want to check out, to be quite honest. If you want to go anywhere, go into the card system. Moving on, if you want to make Ali A, here's what you're going to need. You will need some black stained clay, then grab yourself some white stained clay, then grab black wool, dark grey wool, light grey wool, then grab white wool, dark blue, cyan, and finally, guys, grab yourself, I feel as though we're missing a colour. Although I don't think we are. I don't think we need anything else. So once you have each one of those materials right there, and once you've figured out where you want to make them, I'll be making them right here. You're going to want to kick off Ali A with a row of 8 black wool in a row on the floor. That's 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There we go. Boom. That is the first row of the front of Ali A's legs. So once you've got that first row of 8 black wool taken care of, on top of that, slap another row of 8 black wool. So you want to have 2 rows of 8 black wool stacked on top of each other. Then for the next 3 rows, do 3 solid rows of cyan. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, and 3 rows of cyan. For the next row, going from left to right, do this. Do 1 cyan, 2 light grey, 2 cyan, 2 light grey, 1 cyan. Then for the next row, do the same thing except with dark grey instead of light grey. So same thing except use a darker shade of grey. Once you've got that row taken care of, you then want to do 5 additional rows of cyan wool. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we've just got to fill these in, haven't we? So that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Lovely. For the next row, place an entire row of dark blue wool. For the next row after that, place a single light grey on the right hand side of your row, and then do dark blue everywhere else. For the next 2 rows, do 2 solid rows of light grey, so that'll be 1 and 2. For the next 2 rows, do this sequence of blocks. Do 1 light grey, 1 dark grey, 1 dark blue, 1 white, 1 dark grey, 1 dark blue, 2 light grey, and that is what you want to do for the row after as well. Like I said, that's for 2 rows, so once you've done that to 1, do the exact same thing to the row just above it. Then for the next row, do 1 light grey, 1 dark grey, 4 dark blue, 2 light grey. Then for the next row, do 1 light grey, 1 dark grey, 1 dark blue, 1 white, 1 dark grey, 1 dark blue, 2 light grey. For the next row, do 2 light grey, 1 dark grey, 2 dark blue, 3 light grey. Then for the next row, do an entire row of light grey wool. For the next row, do 3 light grey, then 2 white stained clay, 3 light grey. For the next row, do 2 light grey, 4 white stained clay, 2 light grey. And what you want to end up with should look a little bit like this. And once you've done that, you have actually completed Ali A's torso and his legs. Once you've reached this point right here, this is what you want to do next. Come all the way up to the top right hand corner of your statue. You want to take this top right hand corner block and extend it going right by 4 with the light grey wool. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. And then take each one of these 4 light grey blocks, extend them down each by 4. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, etc, etc, until they're all dragged down. What we can then do underneath these rows of light grey wool, we want to do... I've got to do some quick math here since I didn't include the measurement on the tutorial. We want to do 7 layers of white stained clay coming down. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we just want to do 7 rows of 4 white stained clay coming down like that. Once you've done that on the right hand side, do the same thing on the left hand side. So top left hand corner of the front of the statue, go left by 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Take each one of those 4 blocks, extend them down by 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So do that to each one of those, extend each one of them down by 4 like that. Take out your white stained clay and extend each one of those rows down by 7 with your white stained clay. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then drag each one of those blocks down. So we just want to end up with something that should look a little bit like this. And this is pretty much the entire front of your statue, except of course we don't have the head on there because, well, I kind of like it when we make the entire body and then put the head on afterwards. I don't know, it kind of makes me feel as though I'm creating a modern day Frankenstein in the form of Ali A. Once you've reached this point right here, this is what you want to do next. That was a little weird. Come all the way around to the back of your statue and come all the way down to the bottoms of the feet. Take each one of the 2 bottom corners of the feet and with your black wool extend them coming out the back of the statue each by 3 blocks. So that's 1, 2, 3. And the other side as well, 1, 2, 3. Then connect each one of those 3rd blocks together like this to form a U shape. Perfect. On top of these 8 black wool blocks that we have at the very back of the statue, stack 2 additional rows of black wool. So that's 1 and 2. If you haven't gathered, we're going to make the entire back of the statue very much how we just made the entire front of the statue, then we're doing the sides. That's how we're going to do things. Front, back, sides, exactly like a haircut. On top of these 2 rows of black that we've just placed, we now want to add 9 additional rows of cyan. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And now all we have to do is just fill in all of these rows, which will take a little while. Not even halfway. Not even halfway. We've been talking about it for at least 7 seconds. You know, I really do wish this was slightly faster. I swear there's a potion for this, but I've now done the 9 rows of cyan. Once you have as well, this is what you want to do for the next row. So from going left to right, do 5 cyan, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then 1 light grey, 2 cyan. For the next row, do 4 cyan, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then 3 light grey, 1 cyan. Then take out your light grey wool. All you have to do from this point onwards is just completely fill in the rest of the back with your light grey. That's all you have to do. Completely fill in the rest of the back with light grey. You don't even have to count the rows, just make sure that it goes as high as the front of the statue and just add on additional layers of light grey until you eventually end up with something that should look a little bit like this, nice and easy. Once you've got that taken care of, this is what you want to do next. We obviously have to do the backs of the arms. The backs of the arms are very simple. They're the exact same as the fronts of the arms, so copy those directly onto the back in the same position on the back as they are the front, and that is all you have to do. It will be as easy as that for you, trust me. Not difficult whatsoever. So we're now just doing the other arm, literally just copying things block for block, guys. I don't think that there's really too much more to say about this. Literally just look forward at your screen. I recommend looking at the screen, probably shouldn't be looking anywhere else. Even if your cat is doing something funny in the corner, it's not going to help you complete Ali A. So what you want to have should look a little bit like this. And as backs go, very, very simple. Once you've got that taken care of, this is what you want to do next. We now want to do the sides of the statue. The sides of the statue are quite easy, except they're not as straightforward as they could be. So you can see, for instance, we're on this side of the statue and we want to start all the way at the bottom. At the bottom here, you want to do 1 row of black wool. And then the next row, you want to raise the left-hand block up by 1 with your black, and then you can just fill the rest of the legs in with cyan. So you literally just have to place those 3 black wool blocks right at the base of the leg like that. And once you've done that, you can then move all the way up to the bottom of the arm. The bottom of the arm is very simple. Fill the bottom of it in with white stained clay. And then fill the upper part of the arm in with light grey wool. You guys all know where the separation begins. It's the exact same as it is on the front and the back of the statue. Where the light grey wool begins, do light grey. Where the white stained clay begins, do white stained clay. It's really, really simple. I mean, it's obvious looking at the statue where you've got to place what. Once you've got that taken care of on one side of the statue, you want to do the same thing on the opposite side. So we're on the opposite side of the statue now. We first want to add in these 3 black wool. So there's 2 here, one here, that's 3, and then we just want to do cyan wool everywhere else, so we just fill in the rest of the leg with cyan, and then for the bottom of the arm, again, it's just white stained clay, like this. Side of the arm, also white stained clay, coming up as far as the sleeve, in which we then start placing light grey wool. Top of the shoulder, we want to do the same thing as we did with the hand. We just have to do 3 rows of light grey wool coming in. You can do more, but don't do any less, otherwise you don't want to see what will happen. It'll be awful, trust me. Once you've got all of that taken care of, you have actually 100% completed the body of Ali A. All we have to do now is throw on his head and his headset as well. He's got a headset, it's quite nice. Once you've reached this point right here, this is what you want to do next. Come all the way to the top front part of your statue. Take out your white stained clay. On top of the 8 original blocks of the torso, stack a row of 8 white stained clay, like that. Then, coming in front of this row of 8 white stained clay, do 2 additional layers of clay. So that'll be 1 and 2 coming out in front of the statue. Then for the next row, on top of this, on top of the second row, that's important, going from left to right, do 3 white stained clay, 2 black stained clay, 3 white stained clay. For the next row, do an entire row of white stained clay. For the next row, going from left to right, do 1 white stained clay, 1 white wool, 1 cyan, 2 white stained clay, 1 cyan, 1 white stained clay. For the next row, do 1 black stained clay, 2 black wool, 2 white stained clay, 2 black wool, 1 white stained clay. For the next row, do 4 black stained clay, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, then 3 white stained clay, 1 black stained clay. Then, to finish off Ali A's face, do 2 solid rows of black stained clay. That'll be 1 and 2, just stacked directly on top of each other, like that. Nice and simple. Once you've got that taken care of, you should end up with something that should look a little bit like this. Once you have got that finished, what you now want to do is come all the way around to the back of the head, take this first row of 8 white stained clay that we placed to start the head off, and drag this all the way across the back of the statue until you overhang the back of the statue by 2 rows. You just want to overhang the back of the statue by 2 rows. It's quite simple. And with this second row that overhangs the back of the statue, knock out the 2 center blocks, replace those with your black stained clay. Just replace those with black stained clay like that. So you want to end up with something that should look a little bit like this, nice and easy to replicate. Once you've got that taken care of, this is what you want to do next. So what you basically want to do is on the sides of your statue, on the sides of the head, you just want to do an entire row of white stained clay. And then very near the face of the statue on the right hand side, you want to place a single white stained clay. So you want to do an entire row of white stained clay, then for the next row a single white stained clay. Do that on not only this side of the head, but also this side of the head as well. So both sides of the head. Same thing, 1 row of white stained clay, then a single one next to the face. You can then proceed to fill the rest of the head in with black stained clay. Not black wool as I was trying to use. Where am I placing those? So the way to do that is really to just take the 2 back corners of the head, raise them up until they're equal height with the head, and then just connect everything together and form a nice big cube shape. That's really the easiest way to do that. That's the best way to do that. Nothing too difficult about about that whatsoever. I don't know why I'm jumbling my sentences. Got sentence dyslexia, but all we're doing is just entirely filling in the head with the black stained clay, and then we'll be adding the headset, which is very, very simple, and I'm sure that you guys know where that goes. Spoiler, it goes on the head. We're just filling this in with black stained clay, and I'm just thinking if there's anything else I've missed. No, there's nothing else I've missed. I wondered then for a moment whether I'd actually added all of the white stained clay into the side of the head, and I have. It's actually really, really simple. The headset covers most of it, so you don't even have to place too much. So we're now just filling the top of the head with the black stained clay, and once we've done this, we can then move on to the next bit. So once you've got that taken care of, guys, this is what you want to do next. So once you have actually got the big giant 3D version of the head, you now want to, starting on the left hand side here, you want to do this. So you can see where we have this first row of black stained clay. It's right next to this white stained clay. So going left of this white stained clay, in front of the actual head itself, do this sequence of blocks. Do 2 dark grey wool, followed by 2 black wool. Then you want to, on top of these 2 middle blocks that we have right here, stack 2 rows of 2 light grey. So that would be 1 and 2 on top of each other. starting from this black wall, we now want to kind of like curve around the light grey wall. And you want to do the same with the dark grey wall, and you kind of just want to form a headset. So like on the left hand side of it, you kind of want to, and it almost looks like a hook shape, you want to have like a hook shape with your black wall on the left hand side, and the same thing with the right hand side with the dark grey. You then want to drag those two same colours over the top of the head in the exact same lines, and you want to emulate what you have on that side of the head onto this side of the head. So onto this side of the head, like starting from this black stained clay right here, we want to do 2 dark grey, then 2 black wool, then 2 rows of 2 light grey, then light grey wool coming up the left, and then black wool coming up the right, and it's actually really simple. The headset, I don't like it when it connects at the top, but you could very easily, if you wanted the headset to connect at the top, completely up to you. The skin didn't seem to have a microphone, but if you guys wanted to add a microphone, that'd also be very simple, although it probably wouldn't be in that position, it'd probably be closer to the mouth, it'd probably be like here or something. If you wanted to, like I said, like modify the headset, modify a microphone, very easy to do. I just kind of like did that at random there, so I'm sure that you guys would be able to do that as well if you so chose. But once you've got the headset added on, which is very simple, that's the statue 100% complete. It's a really simple statue, really easy, nothing difficult about that whatsoever, I hope. So hopefully you guys like this, hopefully you've managed to make it, and if you've done both of those things, I'd really appreciate it if you could give this video a like, favourite, share, anything you'd feel like doing to help me out, guys. I would just always vastly appreciate, as I always do. You guys know, I love it when you show me some support. It's my favourite kind of thing, support. If you wouldn't mind, like, favourite, share, comment down below, who do you want to see me make next? The reason that I made Ali A, guys, only reason, because you requested him. That's the only reason I've made Ali A. I wouldn't have even thought to have made him otherwise. I didn't know he had another channel, didn't even know he played Minecraft. I thought he was exclusively Call of Duty, but hey, what do I know? I delved into this guy, I now realise that he has an incredibly massive channel and second channel. He gets quite a lot of views on his Minecraft videos. I'm actually really surprised, but feel free to comment down below, who do you want to see me make next from the YouTube world? What statue, what skin do you want to see me make? Who do you want me to make? Comment down below, let me know. Check out the card system if you want to make more YouTubers, more statues, more of anything. There'll be loads of interesting things in there. Thank you very much for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next video, and remember, like, favorite, and share. See you in the next one, guys.